Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Wednesday webinar. Today, we're going to be going over Mastering Your CRM Expert Live Coaching Session with your expert live hosts, me, Glenn, and the actual intelligent one of the group, Heather, who is our onboarding specialist. Say hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather. Hi,
Thank you.
everyone.
Did not disappoint.
Thanks for joining us. I always love how you start that off. So we're going to be going over a lot today. Your top producer CRM, some other products that we offer, and we also like to make this interactive. So please ask questions because this is your chance to find out how to use your CRM the best way for you and your business.
Yeah. So if you ever have any questions, just go to the chat option in Zoom, and either Heather or I will answer it via chat, or we will answer it here directly on the screen. So one thing we do like to let you know is we do have support. We aren't a company that just sells you the software and goes, fly, little birdie. We like to make sure that you have somebody there to back you up. So if you're looking for support, you can reach our team via our chat in the bottom right corner of all top producer products. They are available Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, that is for things that you need a quick answer to. If you do just have a question that's not really super important and not time sensitive, please email our team at support@topproducer.com and we'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. We're actually shooting for the 24, but realistic. I like to be realistic. We also
Just
have,
real
hey,
people. Did you say we're real people in the chat?
I
I
haven't
didn't.
said we're real people. We are real
Yeah.
people. Everybody is human. We are still 100% homegrown humans at this time, no robots. So all chat people are here. They have been working with the software themselves, so they know what they're doing and they can answer your questions. Uh, so again, the other place to get help is if you go to support.topproducer.com, you will find our online frequently asked questions, and we'll be able to you just search through there and you can find questions or can answers to any of your questions. Wow.
I know, I see that. We have a question before we even really, well, kind of get started, which this is awesome. Um, Mila, if
Okay.
you can try, if you're using numbers, if there's any letters in there, try lowercase, try uppercase. If it's all letters, again, try both upper and lowercase. If neither of those are working, numbers only, okay. If you have a really long number, try taking, usually there might be a couple in front that don't belong there, and or that make sure your MLS board is also correct as well. And
And
if
if you
that's,
are having trouble, yeah, reach out to our support team and they can assist with that because uh, we would never want to share your information and put your account on the screen. So we wouldn't be able to do that through here. But yeah, if it's just numbers, there is a difference between sometimes your login and your actual MLS ID.
Mhm.
So check that out. There might be something when you log in, might be a different number there that you can use, and that should work for you. But let us know. We're definitely going to be able to make sure you're looked after, and we will make sure you're looked after. Might have to, after the Zoom, I might have to take a look at the account and fix that up for you.
Awesome.
So
So let's
let us
get
know.
started.
Awesome.
I'm also going to let you know too that we do cover a lot of information on here in a short time. So I might talk a little bit fast. And if at any time you need me to slow down and or repeat it, please ask. No problem with that whatsoever. So we are going to cover the settings. And then after that, we go over some fun features and whatnot and show you how to actually use a CRM. So going over the settings, I usually kind of fly through them relatively quickly. We do go over each tab, but they are pretty self-explanatory, not really hard to go over at all. But again, just like the MLS, if you have any other questions, please let us know as we're going over them. So if you haven't signed in already, you should have, and if you're new to Top Producer, you should have received an email from your from Top Producer with your username and password. You're going to go to crm.topproducer.com and log in. Once you log in for the first time, it automatically will bring you to My Information tab. And you want to make sure, and we're going to show you this My Information tab. Once you log in, you want to make sure that anything that you put in there is going to be okay for the customers to see, for the public to see. So you definitely want to make sure you're not putting in your address. So we're going to go to settings, two different ways you can get there. You either have the very bottom left corner or you have the very top right corner where your photo may be, and then you click on settings. Awesome.
You would go to the bottom left when I went to the top right. Always happens, doesn't it?
So when you come in here, you're going to go to My Information. However, if you are signing in for the first time, My Information page will just automatically populate here. So if you do want your headshot and or logo on any of your marketing, you're going to put it in here. Address, I always suggest not putting your home address. If you don't have an office that you work out of, just put your city and don't put your street number. And then otherwise, if you have your office number or your office address, you can put that in. You got your phones, emails, websites, social media. If you're going to add those, make sure you add the entire link to the social media. Professional company name. All this is pretty important information to have in. And most importantly, down at the very bottom is also to make sure that your location, your time zone is correct. If you have the wrong time zone in here, whatever you put in for any appointments is going to go based on your time zone. So you could be either really early or even worse, really late for an appointment. So make sure location is correct. And then let's go save my info. Perfect. So once you've done that, you're going to go through each tab under settings. Again, customized to you. Make sure the more information you put in, the better use of your CRM you're going to get. So notifications is great for a couple things. If you are getting any leads coming directly into your CRM, especially for Social Connect, you want to turn this on to make sure you get notified about those new leads coming in. So you have the option to put in phone and email. You can do one or the other or both, totally up to you. And always when you're changing any information, please hit the save in the bottom right corner. And then we also have task reminders. So if you're doing things like drip campaigns and you have just your day-to-day tasks, there's phone calls you need to make or an important meeting you need to get to, make sure you turn the task reminders on. And then when you're creating the task, you also have to turn on that reminder so you will get notified about that as well. Again, click save in the bottom right corner. Calendar sync is optional if you do use a digital calendar. If you're old school and you still use a paper calendar, don't worry about this. But if you do use a digital one, I know for myself, I need to know what's going on in my life. There's a lot right now. So you want to make sure that you put in, so you can sync it so you can see what's on your calendar on Top Producer, but then whatever you add to Top Producer, you'll see on your calendar as well.
And if you're like me and you prefer chaos, don't put anything in here.
My life is chaos and I'm trying to keep it organized.
Yeah, I just go with the chaos. Me and chaos, old friends.
Yeah, nice. Contact sync. If you're going to do this, don't do this until after you've imported your CSV file. So this is if you have like a list of contacts saved in your email address or whatnot, you can save that over here and sync it. And then anytime that you add a customer to your phone, we'll automatically add to Top Producer as well. Again, it's optional. It's totally up to you if you want to do that. Import contacts. So if you have a CSV file you're going to import, you do want to make sure that each item that's imported has its own column. So you don't want to have like the entire address under one column. You want to have like street number, street address, state, zip code, and so on. Same with name, first name, last name. Make sure that they're in separate columns as well, just so it comes over nicely. If you have or you are set up with an onboarding with one of us, and which did we mention we do free or we do
No, we haven't mentioned onboarding concierge yet.
So we do that as well. If you do need help importing, let us know and we can do that for you as well. Just to make sure that it's nice and tidy and the information's there that you need.
Yeah, one of my biggest complaints about CRMs is that there is not a standardized format for data. So you're going to find some CRMs where name is just all in one column, address is all in one. We do have it broken down just to give it a little bit more I guess it looks a lot nicer and it's a lot easier to work with if you have to take it out.
And totally up to you. You might just want to add your contacts one by one. So you have that option as well. Email integration, that's a very important one. So this is going to be the email address that your customers will see when you're emailing from them. So as an example, if you're using a Gmail account, it's going to send from here. You're also going to see it in your Gmail because technically it's going through Gmail's server. So you'll have the copy in both places. Also keep in mind whatever your limit is for the day. So again, with Gmail, if it's a free account, your limit is 500 for the day. If you have a paid Gmail account, your limit is 2,000 for the day of how many emails you can send. But the great thing about sending it from here is that you can set up those automated drip campaigns to automated go out. Also, it will show you if your customers have read the emails or not. So if you send it from here, if you go ahead and send it from Gmail, you'll have the copy in here, but it won't be accurate to whether their customer has read the email. Email signature is very important because you want your customers to know who the email is coming from. So you don't want to just have an email with no signature at the end. Make sure to add this signature. I see so many people skip past this, and you're just sending out emails with no information. Well, maybe information in the email, but you want to have your contact information. That's the most important part, especially when you're sending out emails. The point is for your customers to respond to you. So put that contact information, make it big and bold. All right. Lead providers. So this here, again, you're going to see the notification settings that you've already set up. But if you do have another lead source that maybe you have iHomeFinder, Realtor.com or something along those lines, you can use this address. Now it's not going to say puppy paws at my leads. It's going to say your first name dot last name at myleads.io. You're going to copy this and you're going to put it on the back end of your lead provider. So where you set up your email forwarding. So when you set this up, your leads are going to come directly into your CRM. Once you have that set up, you can also set it up that they can get auto response. So they can also get automated market snapshots. They can get automated emails, automated texts. And then all you have to do is reach out and call them. All right, market snapshot. You want to make sure everything here is turned on, just like it says, even it says for buyers, sending them the pending and the sold and stuff. Yes, send this information. I'm going to show you why after. Make sure everything's checked on. And let's scroll down a little bit. And then this one might be empty at the very bottom. It says turn this feature on. If you have any leads coming in, you definitely want to make sure that this is turned on so your leads will automatically get a market snapshot sent to them. Otherwise, you do have to send market snapshot manually. And then again, any changes you make on any of these pages, make sure you hit the save. Okay. MLS credentials. And are you still having issues with your MLS? Were you able to get that set up? And let's answer this email this question.
You create an alias email that shows up on the website. E.g., if my website is topproducer.com, then the alias email is asmat@topproducer.com. No. So when you put it in, when you do this email integration, any emails that are going out through Top Producer will actually go through this Gmail account. The only thing is that it doesn't pull the sent, or it doesn't create the sent email in Gmail. It just goes to the server and goes out. So it will still say your actual email address on it. The only reason that we would want you, I'm going to start again because my brain just stopped mid-sentence. You do not want to use an alias. An alias is just really a redirect, and that's not going to a real inbox. So you want to make sure you use a full legitimate email address. But it will allow you to work it out that way. So if with your example, if your website is topproducer.com, the email address will most likely be created through there, or else you will have to use it through your other providers like Gmail, Office, or Outlook.
Mm-hmm. Also, anytime you send an email out through here, no one sees anything to do with Top Producer. This is just whatever you see in your Top Producer CRM is just for you. Your customers don't have access to see this information.
Yeah. So I don't see any answer about that. So hopefully we will assume that it's working. If not, oh, it's not working.
Nope,
okay.
It's not working. Okay. So we'll get someone to look into that for you. And then we'll also reach out to you because we don't want you to put your personal information in the chat as well.
I'll take a look at it after this webinar and I'll see what I can do to fix it up for you, Mila.
All right. Team management, nothing you have to worry about there unless you do have a team of agents underneath you. This is where you're going to come in, add each agent's account. Texting, optional if you want to do this. If you are in the States, it does require you to register through the FCC. Could take about a day, maybe a few days at best. You will be notified once it's been completed and registered. How this works is that it will populate a new number for you from Top Producer. So only when you're texting from the CRM will your customers see that other number. Also, they do have to opt in for you to receive text. However, if they do text this number, you'll get a message to your phone saying you have a new text from so-and-so at Top Producer. Also, if they call that number, it will still ring to your phone, so you're not going to miss any phone calls. UI settings is user interface settings. So if you want to change any colors or types, we will be going over types, which I think is highly important to use. But you can change colors, you can change default dates for your transactions and tasks and such. But otherwise, there's nothing that needs to be set up. And then Zillow Connect is if you if you have been a Zillow Premier agent in the past, then you can connect that. It'll bring over any leads that you've had before. I do see Home and Tell. Okay, so we're in Canada and we don't have Home and Tell up here. But I will kind of quickly go over how that works. So if you do have Home and Tell, when you click on there, it's already going to be checked off for you to auto send. It's only going to auto send to any customers that have addresses in their account. So they have to have, and of course, if they're like residential places that can be sold, they've been in the MLS before, that they'll receive a report on their home. So like a home value report. That's what it is. It's a home value report. I also suggest adding yourself into your Top Producer, send yourself a Home and Tell report so you can look at the report and see what it looks like. Always say to do that. And that way you're like, okay, you can understand it a little bit more. You want to make sure that you're understanding and knowing what you're sending to your customers. I think that's highly important. So the only thing you need to do with the Home and Tell is that when you click on there, you need to scroll all the way to the bottom and just hit the save. That's all you got to do to activate it, to get it started. Also, any information that it might pull your picture, your phone number, your email, any marketing information, it pulls it from the My Info account. So if your picture's missing and you haven't added it to My Info yet, then you're going to notice it's not showing on your Home and Tell. And also all that marketing information goes onto the Home and Tell report. So another great way to market yourself to your customers. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I just automatically forget Home and Tell because we don't have it on here.
Yeah, I need to update this to a US account so that I can actually show that. Remind me, because you know I don't put notes on a calendar and I don't get reminders, so I rely on you to remind me.
So I have to make notes for you.
Yeah, no pressure, you know. Thanks.
I love it. All right. So now we're going to kind of dive in. We're going to go over some features, the best way to use your CRM. Again, I'm going to let you know that I do talk pretty quick going through everything. So tell me to slow down at any time or go back over something. So one of the big things for using your CRM is following up with your customers. A few reasons why it's really important to follow up with your customers is because they can either become repeat clients and or referrals. So for an example, I recently bought a house. So excited. Just got to throw that out there. But my realtor that I've gone through, he helped us just over a year ago in the place that I'm currently in that we're renting, not knowing if we wanted to buy just yet. And he doesn't usually deal with renters. And I know I'm going to hear that a lot too. But I know him personally. So I did message him and say, hey, like, will you help us out with a rental? And he's like, yeah, you know, not a worry. And so as soon as I was ready to buy and we found a place we liked, he is the guy, obviously, because he helped us out. He was a guy that I called up when I was ready to buy a house. And so we're now doing that. Another great way to follow up with your contacts, right? So there's a couple different ways you can do this. We got the follow-up coach, task plan reminders, auto response plans. There is a few ways we're going to show you on the CRM that you can use to follow up with your customers. So you can do what works best for you. All right, so let's go to the home. This is going to be your homepage. When you log into your CRM, every time it's going to automatically bring you to this page. So it's like your dashboard. It's like a quick overview of everything all on one page, which is great. You can also get to anything that you need to by just clicking somewhere on this page will bring you where you need to go. So follow-up coach, it's going to show you on this page. It's also going to show you on your contacts page. So follow-up coach will always give you contacts to follow up with. In this, I would use, for example, if you're not using an automated drip campaign to send out and you're just like, I don't know who to reach out to, click the follow-up coach. It will always give you 5 contacts to reach out to. Now, when you hit the follow-up, you have your choice. If you want to send a text, you want to send an email, maybe you want to send a market snapshot, maybe you want to give them a phone call. You can really choose how you want to follow up. When you do your follow-up, make those notes. So you have the add the note. You also have the wrap up task, which I love the wrap up task because it lets you create what you just did. Like, okay, you just called the customer. As you can see, Glenn's showing you as I'm talking. But you can say what you just did. You called the customer, but then on top of that, you can also create a follow-up. So if you actually called the customer and they said, hey, can you call me like next week sometime? Then you can create that follow-up to be reminded to call your customer back again. And it will also go onto your tasks as well as your calendar. So lots of great ways to follow up. This is one way to do it, is the follow-up coach. Maybe you sent a text, yeah. And maybe you're going to text them and maybe you're going to call them in a week anyway, just to follow up with that text that you sent. Now you want to follow up with a phone call. And I know it's a lot of work and I know you're busy, but if you're using this and maybe you only have to follow up with 2 or 3 customers a day, it's just going to make your life so much easier.
So let's put it this way. We give you 5 per day. If you were to go through all 5 every day and only, and I use the word only worked 300 days out of the year, you're going to follow up with 1,500 people. We have 507 people in this test account. We would have 3 touches all throughout the year with almost everybody in the account. I mean, you could spend a few extra minutes and get those other 7 just on the last day to make sure, but yeah, you're going to be able to talk to everybody and get everything taken care of. Now, one thing Heather hasn't said, but I'm going to say, because her and I both agree 100% on this, is there's this button here that says skip.
Don't hit it.
I'm going to hit it, but you see it says completed. I did nothing. I haven't followed up. I haven't done any type of follow-up at all. So we want to make sure we do something like that without, you want to make sure you do a follow-up, because this person is put to the very back of the list. I may not see them again for another 6 months. Now, Stephanie asked you if you can do that again. Do you mean how we did the follow-up
Yeah,
and
I
all
think
that?
just showing, yeah. So a couple different ways to do this. You're going to see it on the home screen, which also is kind of like your dashboard. So if you go, when you sign in and you go to your home screen.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
what I
you put
did,
in the note.
so I clicked here, I hit mark done. I put in a note, and then I just hit save wrap up. And it automatically puts the note in for me. So you can do multiple things in that. So you can do it there. I'm going to do another one because it'll answer the other question we have as well. So again, I click on follow up to get in. I figure out what I did. So I made a phone call. I'll click mark done. Call. Called me next week. Thankfully, I can type fast. Now, you can see there, I've got the note that I want to attach to it, and then I want to create the appointment. This appointment does not notify them. It notifies you. That's for, I'm going to hope I say this right, Ubaid. Once you set the follow-up, the notification is sent to you, not the customer. So you want to make sure you tell the customer that they would do it. But yeah, Stephanie, you put this information in, and then you do hit the save wrap up. I better put it different day because it's conflicting with another one I put in. That's another great thing. It will tell you if you've got a conflict. I wish other thing. Well, so the 2 steps, one is you're putting in the information to save the wrap up and you're putting your notes in to say what you did. The other step was if you want to have another appointment with them. So that's what the second step is.
Yeah, so sometimes you might just call them, talk to them the one time and not have a follow-up. So if you're on the phone with somebody and you schedule a meeting, you can say what you talked about and then schedule that meeting and be reminded about it.
Yeah.
Maybe you sent them a text and you don't plan to do anything. You can just say send text, this is what it was, and then just save that note and not have that second
Yeah.
part. So
So Yeah, that second step is really just in case you're booking another thing. So let's say Heather's example, send a text. They are all good. No need to follow up for a while. And then I just save it. And there you go. It's got the note there, and they will be put into the list and come back later.
It's
So
all
it's
going
a
to
really
depend on you. Yeah, sorry.
no, it's okay. You and I think we're going to say the same thing. It all depends on what you did and what the next action is.
Yeah, absolutely. And the more information you put in here is going to benefit you. So you got to think about also how you work as an agent, and when you see something, if that makes sense to you, because this is your platform. So use it the best that will help you run your business.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did follow up coach. What's another way to follow up? Creating plans. So, well, I guess
You
we
want to go to
can.
creating plans?
Yeah, sure. We'll come back to
Okay.
this. We'll come back to this one in a second.
Okay.
So you can create email templates and then have like a automatic drip campaign to send out to customers. Maybe you have them send out an email, say every 10 days for 6 months, or every 10 days for a year, or something like that. So you're going to go into marketing, you're going to go to your template library. There are a ton of templates to choose from that you can customize yourself. Always highly suggest customizing them because these are very generic. They don't really say anything about you and your business. So you do want to make sure any templates that are here that you make it sound like it's coming from you. You might read this and say, okay, great information, but it doesn't sound like me. Make it sound like you. So definitely customize, and/or you can also add your own emails from scratch. So you have that option as well. Then once you're done with your emails and you're happy with that, you're going to create your drip campaign. So in your drip campaign, you can also have reminders to give them a call. Also, a reminder to send out a market snapshot report to your customers as well. Your drip campaign can be whatever you want it to be like, whether you're going to target buyers or sellers, or maybe both, maybe old past clients. You can choose what kind of drip campaign you want to use. However, doing this is another great way to follow up with your contacts, and then you have that automated email going out. I also suggest don't go longer than a year. The reason for this is because so much information changes in a year. I'm sure we can all see that, how much information, how much stuff changes in a very short time. So you definitely want to keep things fresh, and not like, if you go a few years out, it's not going to be, like I said, fresh information. You want to keep on top of things. So, but still, it gives you a few months to just kind of hit the send button and do other things that are important as well.
The
Oh, go
I
ahead.
was going to say the last task you should have on any plan you do is a reminder to yourself that that plan has completed. So then you can decide what you're going to do next. You might just leave them on just the market snapshot going forward, or you might change it over to another plan. Or it's a great time to reach out and see how they're doing, because they may have been getting your info. They may just not have thought to call, and they might be like, oh yeah, we were thinking of calling somebody, and you'll get that sale.
Of that. Also, if you set this onto a customer that you maybe a few weeks down the road actually start working with, stop the plan.
Yeah,
Make sure you unapply the plan so they're not going to get some generic information as you're currently working with them.
good call.
All right. Lots of good calls here today.
Yeah, we almost seem like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, some days. All
Oh,
right. Oh, and one
I,
other way to follow up, which I think is pretty cool. I like this way. So you're going to see right here, under the new tab here, you're going to see all these ones that are overdue. So you get to choose how often, and you can go each of these tabs at the top. You can choose how often you want to follow up with this customer. So new customers should be every day. Or you can change it to 60 like Glenn just did, but
trying to get us so we can see both of the
there. Oh, no. Let's try 40.
I'm gonna try 20 days.
20 days. Okay. Nope, still not working.
I'll figure it out. Go ahead to the next thing.
So you see here, you're going to get note. Now this is great because especially if you're a color person, this is going to kind of pop out to you, and show you who needs to be targeted. So it's going to say overdue, which means it's time for you to reach out to them. Otherwise, you see it here in yellow, it says follow up, which means, okay, now it's time. And then if it's just left and wait here, you're good. You've already followed up with that customer. So again, this is another really great way. So new is somebody that you probably should be on top of more often. Future is going to be for your customers that are not in the market to buy or sell right now. So maybe you're only going to reach out to them like every 3 to 4 months, give or take, maybe longer. And then again, this is just another way to follow up. So if you're using the automated drip campaigns, you might not do this. You might not use this, but so it's working.
We do have that question. So in the task plan manager, I just have a whole lot of them. You do have this option to browse templates and see the templates that we have. Keep in mind there are 3 types of plans. There's a contact plan, which is stuff that is going to the contact or is in relation to stuff that you need to do for them. Transaction is for any transactional item, such as helping somebody buy or helping somebody sell. And lead response are special plans that are for when you get those new leads in, so this stuff will automatically go out for them. So we do have these specific plans created, but just like everything, you want to have everything more you can come here and add a plan. You can either create it from a template or just create it yourself. One thing I will always recommend is in the name, you want to put a symbol of some type. So the pound sign, exclamation, I guess I'm supposed to call that a hashtag now. Did I just show my age again?
No, I call it a number sign.
Okay, number, pound, whatever. I know I'm showing my age, but you put it in there and then you can make a description of what it is. So you have the ability to edit these, create these whenever you want. And if you do have questions about it, we do have these little question marks here that if you click on them, they will take you to the learning page for that. So it'll help you get them all set up and organized.
Yeah, it's always great to add your own plan. Maybe kind of jot something down somewhere, but like decide who you want to follow up with. I think that's another important thing too, is realizing and finding out who is your target client, so or target audience. But like in this case, like do you target mostly sellers and you do buyers? If you do both, maybe you target more for sale by owner. Anything that's kind of like your go-to people or who you want to focus on. And I feel like you're going to get more return versus just targeting every single person. You don't want to target somebody that just bought a house last year, right? So you you're gonna know who you target, and that's kind of what you want to build your plan based on.
Yep, 100%. So, well, here comes a way to do that customization and follow.
Yay! I love this. So one of my favorite things, and because it really does help stay organized and just makes your life so much easier looking for your clients. So definitely create types. You can have multiple types on a customer and you can have any type that you want. So when you're creating types, there is already a populated list that comes up that shows you types that you can add. But if it's not in the list, don't worry, start typing it out and create your own type. So depending on where you're located, maybe you're close to a lake and you have boat lovers or lake house, or maybe golf is one because maybe you have customers that are like huge into golf. Anything that is going to kind of stand out to you, if they're military family or retirees, or absolutely anything that, you're like, okay, this is like my focus, right? That's where you're going to create your types. So we're going to kind of show you how to do that.
Okay.
Am I missing something here?
A little bit of something. I'm going to go back here. So,
Yeah.
Stephanie, you can browse a template. Let's say you want the sphere one. You'll see this and you'd hit customize plan here. Down here where the name is, I'm going to put in that, I'm going to put a couple of those because I know I have this in here already, and then save plan. Then when I do it here, I have the ability to edit. Okay, perfect. Cool. I just wanted to make sure that we got that one pretty clear for you because there is 1 or 2 more steps than just naming it. But yeah, here you can always change that. And then if I don't want this one, I can just delete it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
So we go back to contacts and
Yes. And actually going along with plans and following up with your customers, types are going to be huge. So you can see obviously on the demo here, we have tons of different types to choose from. Like I said, you can create absolutely anything that's going to fit you and your business and add for types. And now one of the things I love about this, it makes it so easy to search for. Let's just say you got the green one here, the type that says dog lover, and I want to search all my dog lovers. So you can just go ahead and click right there. Okay, and now it just groups them all together. So I'm going to send them all an email because guess what? A new pet store just opened up in town and I want to let them all know and I want to be the first to let them know and also send my marketing information and say, hey, maybe you need a house with a backyard or something if you're a dog lover, right? So like, I mean, these are all kinds of things that you can keep in mind into your marketing as well. So you can give them that type, select them all at the same time, and send them all an email at the same time. So use your types. Take advantage of it. Um, perfect. We'll go over that in a minute there, how to, because I'm going to show you
Mhm.
a couple more ways to search by types as well. You can also create your own tabs. So if this is a type that this is always your go-to, maybe it's your hot leads or favorite clients, whatever you want to call them. If you have, we can create a tab at the top of your bar here, which will show you how to do that. And you can add multiple types within that tab as well. So let's go ahead and say right up in the top right corner where it says add contact, there's like a little settings gear. And here you can create your own tab. So we're going to say call it favorites or whatever you want to call it. This is up to you. Animal lovers. Animal parents. There you go. So yeah, if you're a dog lover or dog parent, there you go. Oh, we have cat parents too. So
Yep.
now we can put them all under the same tab. We're going to say create tab. And now if we want to go check out that group, it's already here at the top of your bar here for you. How many types can we add? For a lead? I don't even know what the answer is to that.
I haven't seen an upper limit. I'm gonna say
There's a lot.
use your contact type strategically and with like Heather and I just fool around making these up.
Mhm.
I
I've
would
never gone
say
to the limit and I've used a lot. I've used a lot of types and I've
I
never.
have seen like 25 types on one, but that's getting a little bit ridiculous. And I actually told the agent I was working with, they were a little bit too laser focused. Love you, Heather.
Not a cool word.
But you don't want to go too deep because if you do have too many contact types going in there, you can confuse it. Find the important things like one of the greatest ones that Heather mentioned is military families. They're
Mhm.
ones that could theoretically be moving more because of relocation and deployments. So you want to have them there, but you may want to say military family, Navy, military family, Marine, military family, Army. That way you can have it separated. So you could go and just get your Army people. Unless you have something that will affect all military people, you would do it that way. So
Mhm.
strategically targeted contact types. That would be the name of the game, I would say.
Yeah. It's also going to depend on like what area of the country you're in and what's big and popular in that area. You know, if you're in Nashville and you've got like country fans or something. Isn't that a thing in Nashville? Country? No?
Yeah, because it is Nashville, Tennessee, and that's,
Oh, well.
Music City. So it's okay, Heather, one day.
Music lovers. But anyways, again, you're going to go based on your location, what kind of stands out to you, your business, and your contacts that you're working with. But yes, definitely put in multiple contact types. Just keep it so it's easy to maintain for yourself. All right. And doing this, Glenn was kind of showing you what you can do when you search that contact. So now, like we're currently under the animal parents tab. So we can select all those customers. By doing this though, it will only select 25 at a time unless you change your page size. So you want to change your page size so we can select all of them. So it will select the whole 34, as you can see at the top of the tab, that's 34 contacts. And we can send them all an email at the same time. You'll see the little icons that populated. So you can send them all an email at the same time or a task plan. You can give them more, like if you want to give all these contacts the same type, you can also do that this way as well. Animal parents. Awesome. Add, and now we just added that to everyone else in this list. Also, if you're going to delete, which I think is really neat that it does this is that you can hit the trash can. You have to type out delete in uppercase in order for you to delete them. So that way it doesn't make it easy for you to accidentally delete your contact list.
Yes,
Okay.
and as a former senior technician who decided he liked training, I am going to tell you the by far hardest thing I have ever done in all my years as a computer tech is data recovery. So be 100% sure that you're 100% sure that 100% of these contacts have to go. And
Mm.
yes, I'm putting a lot of 100% on there because once it's gone, we use a secure deletion method and recovery is nigh impossible.
Yeah. I mean, unless you
For-
have the original CSV file, and that's great.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's a good
Um,
call. So backups are important. Don't ever hit the delete button and type in delete in all caps unless you know.
Let's show you what it looks like to send an email. So you got them all selected. You want to send an email. You do have the option here to choose from any templates that's already created. And then when you do select that, you can also customize it and or you can create from scratch as well. So it doesn't have and oh, just a test. And then here you can choose from templates. Where are you to? Yeah. So if we scroll that over, you can choose from templates in the bottom right corner. Now, this is if you're sending for a group of contacts, like multiple contacts at a time. It's slightly different when you're sending for an individual customer, which will show you that as well.
So one thing I'm going to say with this specific, when you say embed a note, do you mean add an attachment or something such as that, or just type out the note that you want to actually be sent to the client? Because that is a little bit of an important differentiator. Because you can't actually embed a attachment into a group email. That's why you have items such as the insert link or a insert image. An invite, you would
Right.
put in a link, I would think is the best way to do that. Or if you have let's see if I have,
An image, you can attach a link to an image as
yeah,
well.
I'm gonna
Um,
try to find a image that I can put on here that's not
yeah.
customer
So if
related.
you use anything that you create, say you create newsletters or whatnot in Canva, you can download that, add your image of your newsletter or whatever it is. That's a snowy yard.
Yeah, I took that picture back when we had a really snow, like
That's
almost,
a lot of snow for BC.
yeah, it was not fun. It was not
Yeah,
fun. I didn't let the dog out because I was afraid she'd get lost in it because she's so small.
and she's white.
Yeah, that's there. So you could put this in here. And then once I've got the image in here, I would then
Yeah,
click here on the insert link. And then I could put the link that so, hey, here's a client appreciation. Come join us for something. You just leave the text to display blank. I'll just put in
child producer.
yeah, since I can type fast, thankfully. And now when I hover over this and click on it, you'll see it's got a linked image. So there you go. Hope that helps. And that was a great question. Nobody has ever actually asked us that one, Heather.
We haven't gone over emails in a long time.
I know it's crazy, but yeah,
Mm.
there we go. And I'm not going to send that because these are supposed to be fake people in here that I created, but I actually saw a poll from a LinkedIn account recently. So I think this account is going to get wiped and I'm just going to make fake people.
I'm gonna apologize in advance if you guys hear my dog barking, but he's up looking out the window upstairs and
Which is
barking.
pretty funny since he's a wiener dog, little Dotson. So
He's on the
hard
guest
to
bed.
always on the guest bed. Okay. Yes, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
All right. So, actually, let's quickly show them how you can send an individual email as well, because I feel like you have a little bit more play with that. So, like if you go into a customer's account, here you can actually add attachments as well as you have an AI, oh, what is it called? A
AI assist. So you can use AI
AI.
enhance or AI author.
That's it.
So AI author, I could click on this and say, new home email. And I'll ask the AI.
Now, just because I'm familiar with using
Chat GPT, so you can use it all the
ChatGPT or
time.
AI to help. I would suggest putting more information in new home um, in Texas or in a certain city in Texas, and it just be a little bit more informative what you're asking them to write about, as well as um, tell it to keep it at a certain length, like 1 to 2 paragraphs or 1 paragraph, because this thing will go and go and go. And I mean, it practically gives you a novel as an email. And I mean, most people are probably going to open this and then just next. You want to get something that kind of grabs their attention. But this is really helpful if you're stuck on here and you're looking at a blank page and you have no idea what you can like what you should write about. This kind of gives you like it's like that nice little tool to be like, oh, okay. Kind of gets that idea put in your head and then again make it sound like it's coming from you because I can this every time I receive an email and I see I hope this email finds you well, I automatically know that that was created by ChatGPT or an AI. So definitely make sure it sounds like something you would say. I know if I was typing an email myself, I'd never say, I hope this email finds you well. Maybe some people do, but that's not something I would do. So definitely if you're going to use this, I think it's a great tool, but use it as a tool and put your voice into it as well.
Yeah. Now
All
you can
right.
see it was easy. I just clicked. Now, remember, Heather, I still do not trust AI. I'm a computer tech, 25 years with these things. I still think computers are the smartest, stupid things we humans ever created. And I am not ready to give over to our robot overlords. So that's why I don't use it as much as you. I should.
We're already on the internet. We've already given up.
I haven't given up all my info to the robots. I am not going to become a battery for them. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
But yes, but it is a helpful tool. I do
Mhm.
need to learn more about that and use that. But as Heather said, if you put in the right prompts, you're going to get something out. But then, yeah, this right here, I hope this email finds you well. I don't know anybody I personally email with or even professionally email with that has ever sent that to me. So, like Heather says, as soon as we see that, it's like, oh, AI wrote that one because they didn't actually care enough to send me a personalized email. Just
Yes.
a little bitter, aren't I?
Yeah. Get personal, just a little bit. Also, another great thing about sending from here is that when you do, it will show your customer or will show you if your customers have read it or not. So when you send, it will show a red eye if they haven't read it. Once they've opened the email and read it, it will turn green. So are you trying to show an example?
Yeah, I gotta find Gracie.
Great, Gracie. That's my dog's name.
Yes, I send emails to her dog all the time.
Oh,
And
goodness
she's
gracious.
still not reading anything. Gracie and I are going to have an argument here. She's still not reading my stuff.
She's a dog.
She should still be. I'm sending her important information.
So you'll see on the red eye, this will be green once your customer has read it. So it's just a great way to know if they're actually if they're reading your emails. And if they are, then hey, like you can give them a call and say, hey, like I sent you an email last week, just checking up to make sure you got it. Don't let them know that you could see that they've read your email. But just use it as a way to start a conversation.
Now, because of the fact that Top Producer and your email do connect, this red eye, it's going to say, if you hover over it, it's going to say unopened or sent from third-party email client.